Hey, what's up guys? I'm going to be going over a technique setup that I kind of developed. I didn't make it up, but I came up with when I tore my LCL. So I couldn't straighten out my leg because it was really swollen and I continued to train. So one thing I figured out was that I could still submit people with kind of my preferred sequence that I like to use a lot. Back at that time, I was a blue belt. I like to do a lot of Omoplatas. So this is a really sweet setup that I still use to this day, and I hope you enjoy it. So we're going to start in the collar sleeve position. 1 foot on the bicep. I'm going to use 4 fingers inside the gi with my knuckles around his collarbone. I'm going to take my outside leg, put a shallow lasso in, heel on the inside, toes up, and I'm going to be relaxed here. What I'm going to do is, depending on his reaction, there's a lot of reactions that they can give us, but the main thing I'm looking for is for him to open up his elbow a little bit as he initiates the pass. I'm going to unhook, lift my hips up, punch his arm into my pocket, and lock my omoplata for a nice clean entry. Now from here, I'm going to let go of the sleeve, maintain a crunch, and I'm going to sit up. But one thing I want to always emphasize is that you don't have to keep your legs locked to sit up, right? I'll unlock my legs, and as soon as I get this hip grip, I don't really need to keep the collar, right? And for this setup, I kind of want to remove the collar to encourage posture for my opponent. So I'm going to sit up here, right? Now from here, he's going to posture up hard. I'm going to do a back roll right here. So as he to review that again, he's going to posture hard. I'm going to follow the momentum and do a back roll. As I land here, right, notice how I kind of land in like this mounted triangle position, but that's not what I'm going for because at that time I couldn't do triangles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my hand, put the fingertips around his bicep. I'm going to punch, use my knuckles to crunch his wrist, and I'm going to scoop my hips under his armpit here, this way. Right now my feet, one of my legs is going to go over his chest, the other one's going to go under his head. Now from here, I can do a lot, right? If I cross my feet with my leg over the top being on bottom, he really can't get up. If he tries to posture up, there's really not much of anywhere he can go. So I can actually take a breather here, right? And it's good to rest here, especially if we're doing a heavy round. Since I was injured, I would take my time to kind of explore. So let people do whatever they had to do and see what attacks were open. But the first one we're going to do is just a basic monoplata setup. So I'm going to dig my fingers right around where his elbow bends to open it up. Keep my fist punched in, punch the knuckles in, and I'm going to scoop myself in deeper into his armpit. I want to be flush as much as I can. Now I've got my fingertips here because I'm going to be rolling this way. I'm going to open up my legs. I'm going to uncross my feet, open up barely right here. I'm going to pull this across my hip, and I'm going to hip up as I keep this crunched in, and I lift my hips into the sky. So I'm going to go here for submission number 1, this way. So he taps. That's sub number 1. Now, a lot of times what would happen is, since this is my weak leg, people would actually wait for me to attack and then throw the leg behind their head. But this doesn't mean the threat is over. I would sprawl out my base here, kind of like I'm in a seated side control. I'm going to finish the same exact way for an even tighter monoplata. I think Josh Hinger calls it the super monoplata. So I go here and continue for a nice clean submission. Now, other things that would happen sometimes is if I'm here and I caught it a little bit weak, people would straighten out their arm and I just can't push it down. So if they straighten out their arm, grab the meat of the hand, I'm going to shift my body under the arm and make sure the thumb is up to the sky as I transition to a regular armbar. This way, grab here, I grab the meat of the thumb, and then I just lift my hips up. here to finish. Okay, you can put the leg over the head. There's so many transitions that can come of this, but from here, generally, you'll have a nice tight arm bar, especially if you follow the steps leading to this. Okay, so one more time. I have my collar sleeve position here. He pressures into me and opens up his elbow as most people would to try to create a nice dynamic pass. I open up, I lift my hips, punch here. Now from here, I make sure everything is secure for about a couple seconds. Once I've secured the position well and I feel like he's not going to jump over me, I let go. I grab the belt here, and like I said, for me to posture up, I don't have to keep the collar or my feet crossed. So I'll let go, help myself get up, come here. Now from here, I maintain this grip. I try to reach across for any type of gi material that I can get. He's gonna posture up. I'm just gonna go with it, roll, straighten out my legs, and land this way. Right? If I land here like this, usually I would throw my leg over, but say if you land here, it's fine. I make sure to pull the arm and secure the bend. Now from here, all I'm gonna do is take a step back, pretty short step right here, and then I'm going to scoot under, right? So I'm gonna scoot my butt under this way, okay? And now that I'm here, I'm back in my position. I make my adjustments that I need to make. So here, I don't have quite the bend that I want. So I'm going to pull myself in deep, punch, continue to punch my knuckles in here into his wrist to continue to create the bend. Keep my hands here. Whenever I'm ready to submit, I can either cross my feet, stack my feet, but for me to actually finish the submission, I'm gonna have to open up a bit, pull, and lift my hips as I pinch, right? It's kind of a thigh master type of move. So we are using our thighs to crunch in this way. And I can submit them with just that pressure, okay? Now, from there, say I opened up my legs, he manages to throw the leg over and tries to posture up. That's fine. I trap him this way, and I continue my motion this way, okay? Now, if I'm here and his arm is straight and I just can't get the bend for whatever reason, I don't fight the force. I misdirect it, control the meat of the thumb here, and I lift my hips. Now here I can actually finish without stepping my leg over his head. But if need be, if he starts to posture up, I'm going to throw my leg over and bring him back down and finish. Hope you enjoyed that. That's a technique I came up with when I tore my LCL, which is still torn and I still use to this day. Thank you.